Assalamu alaikum dears. This is Nazia ma'am, and today we are going to start our major, that is Indian literature in translation. Under that we are going to see one small poem with lots and lots of information hidden there. Okay, so first, before going to the lesson, before going to the poem, first you must know what is Indian literature in translation. So here a small definition in order to make you clear is Indian literature in translation deals with the works which were written by the writers in their mother tongue, that is in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, etc. And it were translated by the Indian writers. Okay. Now you are clear. I repeat, the works which were written by the writers in the mother tongue, that is Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, etc., were translated by the Indian writers. So that is Indian literature and translation. Okay, clear? Okay. So it's a small picture of wind. So now we are going to see about the introduction part about the poet. So the name of the poet, the name of the poem is Wind. It was written by Subramanya Bharati. I think you people were very well known about this writer, a very famous writer, and again it was translated by A.K. Ramanujam. So in this Indian literature in translation, dears, you're going to see about two writers. The first is the first writer whose work was his own. The next writer, the work of that writer was translated by another person, the another writer. Okay, so here it is clear. When by Subramanya Bharati, actually it was written by Subramanya Bharati and it was translated by A.K. Ramanujam. Okay, the poem name is Wind. So now about the poet. So, small introduction about the poet. Chinna Swami Subramanya Bharati. The name of the poet is Chinna Swami Subramanya Bharati, also known as Bharadiyar. Also known as Bharadiyar, was a Tamil writer, poet, journalist, Indian independence activist, and a social reformer. So he plays a major role in the literature part. Was a very good writer, very good journalist, and even a social reformer. Take part in many social activities in order to help the needy peoples. Okay. He was popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. He was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry, considered as one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all the time. It means he was popularly known as another name Mahakavi Bharati. Actually, it is Tamil name. He was a pioneer of Tamil poetry. Is the greatest literary figure of all the time. Even now, we remember Subramanya Bharati. Many works, I think many works you people were read during your school days. Okay. Next comes the translator part. So, how the work was translated? How the work was translated. So, the translator name is A.K. Ramanujam. He translated from Bharadiyar's Tamil poem Katru. So now you people were clear, I think, that the name of the poem is Wind. It was the wind was the name given by Ramanujam. Actually, it is a work of Bharadiyar's Tamil poem Katru. So in Tamil, we used to say wind as Katru. Understood, dears? Ramanujam was a Canadian poet, philologist. Okay, he achieved status of a renowned poet of India. A.K. Ramanujam was a very famous literary figure again. He wrote many works and he was very familiar in the English literature. Okay. Now, about the poem. So, about the poem, what we are going to see in this poem, Wind. So, a well-known fact that wind is the natural phenomenon. What is wind? Wind, we know everyone we know that is what is wind. Wind means in Urdu hawa, in Tamil already we have seen that is katra, in English it is wind. Okay, so definitely it is a natural phenomenon. Always we are coming across daily. We are without wind it is not possible to survive. Okay, so wind has the power of construction and even the destruction. So about the poem, here the writer used to say that wind has a power of construction and even the destruction part. He can build and it can damage also. So poet believes that the wind has the powerful nature which helps mankind to fight with the obstacles of life. Here a writer used to say he believes that a powerful nature of wind which helps the mankind to find with the obstacles of life, obstacles, the challenges of life. Here, wind was connected to God, and here wind has been connected to God in that sense that we can make our life, we can fight with the obstacle, we can fight with the challenges of life, and we can come up in your life with a strong mind, and then poet expresses his point that weak people suffer a lot for their fate. So it is we know already that always the weak peoples are suffering. Weak peoples in the sense the poor people. The poor people are always suffering a lot for their goodness, for the betterment in the life. So it is a well-known fact. The same thing the writer wants to say that weak peoples cannot survive in the life unless unless they become strong, unless they can come up in the life and they can fight for their fate. Okay, so this is the small intro about the poem. So I repeat, a well-known fact that is wind is a natural phenomenon, a power of construction and destruction. Poet believes that wind has a nature which helps the mankind to fight with the obstacles of life. And then the themes. What are the themes involved in this poem? This poem has 23 lines without any stanzas. No stanzas are clear lines. So every line has a different meaning and it was easily comprehended for the better understanding. So the meaningful poem with the easy understanding, a very simple words has been written, and every word has a different meaning, and the meaning has a lot and lot of thing to understand what is life. Okay, poet shows a clear picture of wind which makes fun of weak peoples or things. So here what wind has been considered as a strong, so whenever a wind blows, whenever the wind comes, definitely all the weak things will fell down, but the strong things hold in the same place. Okay, so this you be clear with this. It is making that is wind is a strong thing. Wind is a strong natural phenomenon. When it comes, all the weak things are getting damaged, leaving these strong things alone. Okay, so what the writer is saying here is that wind is making fun of the weak peoples. So us weak peoples are very weak. They don't have strong nature and they don't have strong minds, so they are weak. So the wind is making fun of the weak peoples. Poet connects, as I have already told you that in before, poet connects the wind to God and teaches the people how to fight with the difficulties and how to be strong with the willpower. And also he wonder about why the Almighty is fond of making fun of the weak people. So as wind being connected to God, and even even God teaches us when the wind blows, when the wind blows, when the wind blows, it used to say us that it teaches us how to fight with the difficulties with a strong willpower, and also wonders about why the Almighty is fond of making fun of the weak peoples, because the weak peoples are suffering a lot. And if the wind is coming in a strong manner, all the weak things are getting fell down, and it causes lots and lots of destruction. It relates to the weak peoples. Okay. In the beginning lines, Bharati says about the violence and destruction. Then he requests the wind to blow slowly because it destroys many things. But wind didn't follow it. It destroys many things. This results in the destruction. Finally, it causes destruction. So, in the beginning lines, it says about the violence and destruction. Now comes the poetry lines. The first part of the poem describes about the action of the wind. What is the action of wind upon the peoples? So here, the poet requests the wind that wind causes many destruction. If it blows in a strong manner, if it comes in a strong way, definitely it damages all the things. So poet requests the wind to come slowly, to come softly, not to break the shutters of the windows. So as the houses were built in a weak manner, as the houses are very weak because they are poor people, they don't have much money to build a strong houses. So poet requests that the poor peoples are not at poor peoples are already suffering. If you come in a strong way, that it will damages their houses. It happens, that is what will happen. So it poet requests the wind to please come softly, not to break the shutters of the windows, not to scatter the paper, not to throw books from the shelf. It means that if the wind comes in a strong way, definitely it damages the shutters of the windows and all the papers which are arranged. Everything will be scattering, everything will here and there it was getting scattered, and the books were all fell down from the shelf because the poor people don't have strong houses, because they of the heavy wind all the books fell down. As I have already told you that papers were also tore into pieces. Next, poet also says that wind mock the weak hearts. It crumbles the weak peoples, weak houses, doors, that everything destroys and causes difficulties. That is, wind destroys. Mock means kicking. Mock means kicking the weak hearts. As the poor people are already poor, they have weak hearts. They unable to tolerate the strong wind coming and destroying all the things which they have been built. But it gets crumbled. The weak peoples get crumbled. Crumble means it get damages. The weak houses are getting damages, that everything destroys, and they causes lots and lots of difficulties as they have no money to build again. So they are requesting the wind to please come slowly, as we can save our things safely. If you come slowly, we can save our thing. Okay. In the next line, poet advises the peoples. In the next line, the poet advises the people to be strong, build strong houses and strong doors. In this sense, in this sense, this line says that a poet advises, that is, the weak people should not be weak. They have to become strong. They have to build strong houses and strong doors. So because as you are weak, you are getting difficulties, you're getting your things, and your things are getting damaged, your hearts are becoming weak, as everybody is coming and torturing you, everybody is coming and hurting you. Why? You are weak. So poet advises here First, the poet requests the winds. Next, the poet says, why the wind mocking the weak peoples? Next, in the next line, poet advises the peoples to be strong. Why you are getting distracted? Why you are getting difficulties from those winds? So you build your houses in a strong manner. You build your doors in a strong with the strong things. It means that if you are strong, if you have a strong willpower, nobody could damage you. So the next line, one should build their body in such a way, both physically and mentally, they must be strong. The same thing, if you build your body, if you prepare your mind that you are strong, that you will be strong, that nobody can damage your feelings, nobody can hurt your feelings. Because the world kicks the weak peoples. Yes, because the world kicks the weak peoples. If you are weak, anybody can come and hurt you, anybody can come and kick you. But the thing is, if you are weak, if you are not able to answer them, you are remaining in the same place, you are not able to go forward in the life. So poet is giving an idea. If we make now, so the first poet requests the wind, the next the poet says, why you are mocking the weak people? Next, poet advises, build yourself both physically and mentally, be strong, that nobody can kick you. The next thing, in the next line, poet is giving an idea, because wind is a natural phenomena. As likewise, the rich people are always rich. They cannot be poor in any sense. They can't. They are living in an aristocratic manner. So the same thing, wind is a natural phenomena. We can't stop that wind. So we can't stop these strong peoples coming and hurting the weak peoples. So the poet is giving the idea that if we made friendship with the strong peoples, we might be able to learn how to face the challenges of life. Yeah, it's a very good idea. That is, if we make friendship with the strong peoples, then nobody can hurt us, and we can able to learn how to face the difficulties of life. Okay. Finally, the poet concluded that if a person becomes like a burning fire, nobody could harm them, because everybody was fear of fire. Definitely fear. If we see the fire, definitely we won't go there. We will stop ourselves in the same place where we are standing. The same thing, if we build our body both physically and mentally, if we made friendship with the strong peoples, and we can learn many things. Finally, the poet concluded that if our body is like a burning fire, then nobody can harm us. Okay, the next line. We must praise the wind and be friendly with them. That is, we must praise the challenges. We must praise the difficulties. We never care for, because the world never care for the weak peoples. We have to be strong. We have to fight for us. For that we have to build ourselves strong. Okay, the wind god Venus, an important part here. Very important part, very important part, that is wind god Venus. Poet here explains about that the things which are weak may flow easily, but the strong things remain on the top. So wind god Venus is a very important part here. I think it may be your 2 mark. So please tick in your poetic lines and write it down, that it in your note, wind god Venus as your 2 mark. Okay. So poet explains here about that the things which are made. What is wind god Venus? The definition here. It explains here about that the things which are weak may flow easily, but the strong things remains on the top. For example, how grains are separated from the wheat. So when we are making chapati in our home, definitely we are taking the sieve and we are separating all the grains from the wheat flour. So the wheat flour is we are getting in our vessel. The thick things, the strong things which cannot be come from that sieve remains on the top. Okay, so this is the final conclusion of the poem, that is, if a person becomes strong, then nobody can harm them. If they build their body both physically and mentally, then nobody can harm them. Okay, dears. So this is the conclusion of the poem. So finally, the most important things, the literary devices used in the poem. You must be very clear whenever you read a poem. Definitely the writer has used many devices in that poem in order to make that poem in a very good manner. So here the rhyme scheme, the first come the rhyme scheme. The entire poem is written in a blank verse because there is no stanzas. The rhyme scheme here is blank verse. Anaphora. Anaphora means the repeating words. The repeating words. Anaphora means the words which are repeatedly written in that poem. That is at the start of two or more lines. So here I have clearly mentioned in which lines the words are getting repeated. That is lines 2, 3, 4 begin with don't. So dears, whenever you are listening the poem, get ready always with your poetic lines. Okay, so here note it down, keep your note beside you and see lines 2, 3, 4 is an anaphora, that is begins with don't, and then lines 6, 7, 8 begin with you. Okay, so this is anaphora. Personification, it means the giving quality or idea. Giving quality or idea. Here the wind has been personified. Wind has been personified, and here you are referring to wind. Wind has been given a quality here. You, he is treating wind as a person. Who is he? The writer. The writer has been personified, giving a quality to the poem wind, and all he referring you are, we are, that is you are referring to wind. You, he is treating wind as a person. Repetition. Crumbling. Crumbling repeated many times. You look at your poetry lines, dears. You look at your poetry lines. Crumbling repeated many times because poet says that wind destroys which is weak. So he repeats crumbling many times. Okay, crumbling means destruction. Alliteration. Alliteration, repetition of consonant sounds. Repetition of consonant sounds. So wind, winnows, want, won't, want. So this all the W is repeated many times. W is repeated many times. By mistake I have typed any. So you please consider that many times. W is repeated many times. So next comes the symbolism, which is an important part. What is symbolism? You are seeing something, with that you are getting some information with the symbol. Okay, wind is a symbol, refers to the challenges of life. Wind is used as an adversities of life here. See, this is a symbolism. So it is giving an information to us that poem wind is a symbol here. See, using symbol you can able to guess that the information you are getting is wind. So there is a symbol where some air was blowing. With that you can able to know that the poem is wind. Okay, so the example for wind god winnows. So I have already explained you before what is wind god winnows. So here a clear structure. See, the grains are separated from the wheat. So finally the weak things are falling down and the strong particles are remaining on the top. So I think you may be clear. Okay, thank you for your attention. Thank you, dears. May God bless you always. Thank you.